Episode 1 Discovery D23. Aurora Genetics Building, Basement Level 5, Biology Research Lab. Manhattan 200 AM. Dr. Sarah Miller. Dr. Sarah Miller froze before the microscope. The 400x magnification screen before her eyes was a nightmare. The microscopic particles within the field of view were moving. They writhed like amoebas, coalescing and separating. The human skin cell culture medium had also turned cloudy. With trembling hands, Sarah placed a drop onto a slide. Oh my God, how could this be? The skin cells were hollow. Only the cell membranes remained. All organic matter inside had vanished. And crawling between those empty cells were tiny spiral structures. 0.05 millimeters. The form of snail eggs, and the larvae. Emerging from them were writhing in that small amount of culture medium. Emergency meeting 400 AM. 6 gathered around the table. Victor Wren, CEO Sarah Miller, Jason Howard, CTO Allison Taylor, Legal Director Robert Jones, Finance Director Madison Clark, Marketing Director. With trembling hands, Sarah switched on the projector. This is a sample extracted from a product 67 days post-launch. The hybrid stem cells we injected caused a fatal deviation in the reprogramming pathway. Deviation? Doctor, explain this properly. Victor. Wren slammed his fist on the desk. Someone introduced an active catalyst. During the final stage of the manufacturing process, this catalyst appears to have forced a reprogramming of the edited snail genes and stem cells, causing them to form a mutated snail instead of the skin protective components in human skin. What on earth are you talking about? We've already passed 3 rounds of FDA clinical trials and laboratory inspections. How could this happen? Victor Wren shouted, his face flushed with agitation. So this is deliberate sabotage by someone within our company? Asked Allison, the legal director, to Sarah. Yes, that's correct. Only members of our development team possess the expertise to employ such advanced technology. Then who is it? Demanded Victor Wren. We have suspicions, but we cannot immediately pinpoint the perpetrator of this horrific act. I want you to contact the security team immediately and verify who accessed the laboratory during the production phase of the products sold 3 months ago. Allison, contact the security team right now. Yes. Allison immediately picked up the phone and spoke to someone. Right, Sarah said. So this snail is still growing on the skin of customers who applied our product. Yes, that's correct. According to our supercomputer's calculations of future progression, the time for the mutant snail to differentiate within the contaminated cosmetic cells and reach adulthood is estimated to be approximately 1 month from now. What if we develop a cure before then? Victor Wren asked. Frankly, within a month we'll do our utmost to conduct countless trials. But I cannot guarantee we'll develop a cure before the adult form manifests. Victor Wren, hearing Sarah's reply, could not contain his fury. Slamming his fist on the desk, he shouted, how dare you say we cannot stop this? The doctor's mad development team is leading us all to ruin. Stop thinking it's impossible. Mobilize every resource and every penny, doctor. If this becomes reality, we're all as good as dead. Victor Wren's voice trembled with extreme terror. From this moment, we are all entering a state of emergency. This conversation must not be relayed to anyone. Dr. Sarah, return to the laboratory immediately and commence development of the antidote. The remaining executives, join me to discuss countermeasures for this issue. If this becomes a problem, we are as good as dead. I expect everyone to face this unprecedented crisis prepared to die. Victor Wren's hollow voice echoed through the conference room. Experimental team meeting 600 AM. Sarah rose from her seat and headed for the BSL-3 level laboratory on the building's 5th basement floor. She summoned the entire experimental team that had been working with her on the project. Everyone clearly looked annoyed, wondering why they'd been summoned at this ungodly hour, though they were accustomed to early morning work. Having seen Sarah alone in the lab at dawn, gathering everyone this early was unprecedented. Their grumbling was matched by palpable tension. Yet Ethan, one of the 8 development team members, was conspicuously absent. He was the culprit after all, she thought. She should have dismissed him sooner. though Sarah had been wary of him due to a vague unease during product research. Victor Wren's relentless pressure to launch the product meant she couldn't exclude him. Despite apparent flaws, he possessed remarkable scientific talent. Sarah spoke with gravity. Early this morning, I discovered an utterly unforeseen issue. In the newborn product launched 2 months ago. Surprise spread across the faces of the 7-member experimental team. Dr. Sarah, what do you mean? Are you saying our product has a flaw? Li Wei asked, his expression utterly incredulous. Aurora Genetics, the Newborn Core Development Team Project Genesis Chapter 8. 1. Dr. Sarah Miller 34, female, team leader. 2. Ethan Hunt 42, male, chief process engineer perpetrator. Background PhD in chemical engineering from Oxford. Formerly with major pharmaceutical firm Glaxo. Characteristics: outwardly a very cold-blooded and conscientious workaholic. Former secret member of a radical religious group. Motivation: after failing to cure his mother's cancer with stem cells, leading to her death, he became involved with a cult-like religious group. He now feels extreme loathing towards humanity's use of stem cells. Intending to warn humanity, he injected a genetic trigger, a catalytic solution, into the final manufacturing stage to induce side effects. However, when a deadly mutant snail emerged in an unforeseen manner, he ended his life by suicide. 3. Dr. Kenji Sato 45, male. Background: PhD in genetic engineering from the University of Tokyo. Disciple of Nobel laureate Shinya Yamanaka. Characteristics: first to propose the combination of stem cells and snail DNA snail-human hybridization. Possesses the temperament of a mad scientist. Obsessed solely with technical achievement. 4. Dr. Li Wei 31, female. Background: PhD in bioinformatics from Tsinghua University. Expert in protein structure simulation using supercomputers. Characteristics: the youngest member of the team. Judges all phenomena solely through data. Role: 1 week after Sarah's discovery, he was the first to calculate a human extinction scenario using the supercomputer, plunging the team into terror. 5. Marcus Hoffman 50, male. Background: formerly of the Max Planck Institute. Biomaterials engineer. Characteristics: developed technology converting snail mucin into a stem cell delivery vehicle. Weakness: holds substantial shares in Aurora Genetics, aligning with Victor Wren to conceal product flaws during cure development. 6. Elena Rodriguez 38, female. Background: PhD in immunology from the University of Madrid. Characteristics: responsible for technology suppressing the human body's rejection response. Status: has personally tested and used the newborn since before its release. After hearing Sarah's account of the mutant snail manifestation, volunteered herself as a test subject for developing the cure. 7. Minho Park 39, male. Background: KAIST graduate. Expert in nanorobotics and drug delivery systems DDS. Characteristics: developed the nanocapsule technology, ensuring the newborn is delivered precisely to the dermal layer of the skin. 8. Claire Beaumont 29, female. Background: master's degree in ethics and life sciences from the Sorbonne. Characteristics: responsible for clinical trial management and ethical review. Role: initially somewhat sympathetic to Ethan's ideology within the development team, but as the situation spiraled out of control, she became terrified and chose to assist drive. Sarah: yes, I believe Ethan introduced an active catalyst into the production process for the commercial product. So what sort of mutation has occurred in our product? Elena was nearly beside herself. She had been using the released product from the very beginning, the one she herself had developed. That's right, Elena. The catalyst Ethan added reacted with the snail cells in our cream. And it seems snails will emerge from the skin. Ah, Elena screamed and fainted. How could he do such a mad thing? Park Min-ho bit his lip. That bloke's work had seemed odd, but to do something this insane, Claire, sitting beside him, felt her breath catch in terror. She'd heard early in the product research that Ethan sometimes spoke of not tolerating science that defied God. But she too had occasionally thought their research might have religious implications, and hadn't dared mention it to Sarah, the team leader. Everyone had sensed something unsettling about Ethan. So Sarah's revelation immediately plunged them into profound terror. What do we do now? We must take responsibility for what we've created. We begin developing a cure immediately. The company has granted me full authority over the use of all resources. It doesn't matter whether it's money or manpower. I expect you to do your absolute best. And from this moment on, we cannot leave this building. I want you to contact your families and tell them you're going on a month-long research trip. Of course, the security team will be present. Call them immediately. Under no circumstances mention the current situation. The meeting is over. Rather than making calls, the team members began considering what countermeasures each of them might have. However, the entire research team remains unaware. They do not yet know that the tiny snail growing on the skin feeds on humans to survive.